Hello, I'm Ruth, and welcome back to This Is How We Roll. This week's episode is going to be all about how to help a child come to terms with their condition. So, if you are the parent of a child with a condition, these might be some helpful tips on helping them come to terms with it. I mean, I'm not an expert on this stuff because I'm not a mother of a disabled child. I'm just, I had a really I have a really good mother who did a really great job of helping me come to terms with my condition and helping me to know that my life may not be exactly the same as everyone else's, but it's gonna be an amazing life. So first of all, the thing that really stuck out with me that helped me probably the most is maximizing my abilities and turning the focus onto the things that I can do. So we knew pretty early on that I like to draw in color, so we made sure that I had lots of coloring books and drawing supplies and stuff like that. A lot of times I'd see, kids playing on the playground, and I'd talk to my mom about, oh, I wish I could, play basketball or could do this. And my mom did a really good job of explaining to me that, yeah, that would be really cool, but that's, their talent. These kids are really good at playing basketball. And it's great to be good at playing basketball, but it's not bad if you're not good at playing basketball. And then we talk about the things that I could do. Like I could draw. I love to help out around the house. I love to set the table and help clean windows and stuff. I love to do puzzles, and I was good at making people laugh, and we would talk about all of the talents that I had, and that helped me to feel like I was good at doing things. I really feel like that's one of the most important things, is to let them know that they may not be physically capable of doing something, or in certain cases an individual may not be capable of understanding certain things, but that doesn't mean that they don't have talents or things that they're good at. Another thing my mother did that was really helpful to me, and it's probably going to sound a little strange to you at first, but was to let me struggle with things. Like, if I was trying to do a zipper or whatever and I was having a hard time doing it, she wouldn't, immediately rush over and be like, let me do it for you or whatever. She'd let me, try and grapple with it and figure it out. And that helped me a lot because it was such a huge sense of accomplishment when I figured something out I could do by myself that was physically based. It just made me so happy. Obviously, if my mom saw me attempting to do something dangerous, she'd rush over and help stop that right away. But if I was perfectly safe, like trying to do buttons or zippers or puzzle pieces, she would just let me work it out pretty much until I came and asked for help, or when I got to figure it out myself. Occasionally I would get really red in the face, frustrated, and my mom would have to say something like, okay, breathe, let's take a 5-minute break and you can try again in a little while. And that type of stuff was obviously very helpful, because sometimes I would just get so frustrated with things that I wasn't really thinking it through. But it was really just an amazing sense of accomplishment when I figured out that I could do something that I didn't think I'd be able to, or that I couldn't previously do. Kind of coinciding with that is we celebrated the small wins. When I figured something out, no matter how small it was, how to do a button or a zipper or whatever it may have been, my mom would be all proud and cheer, and that really helped me because I felt like even the small wins, were going on to make bigger strides. And as I got older and progressed, they did. I mean, knowing these fine motor skills, basic fine motor skills, helped me to acquire more of them. So yes. Probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest thing that helped me come to terms with my condition that my mother did was probably the hardest thing that you can ask a parent to do, so I especially commend her for this one, is this kind of like stepping back and letting me try it out, not just like in the way of like figuring stuff out, but like preschool and, kindergarten, just the, giving me over to the assistant and, stepping back and, letting me go on about this school day like any able-bodied child. And that, I'm really happy that she did that, because now I'm going to college just like a normal college student, and I probably, in fact, completely would not be able to do that if she hadn't, taken the steps when she did to, try and afford me as normal of an experience as I could have. And I mean, I know there's different varying degrees that you can do this, depending on how physically or mentally disabled your child is, but as scary as it sounds, try to give them as much of a normal experience as possible. It's really scary for the parents. There's no changing the fact that it is terrifying. But in the long run, I'm pretty sure you'll see some really good effects. I mean, like I was saying, I did. Now I'm in college at a really good university, studying with my peers and doing my homework and having a pretty much self-sufficient school day. The only reason I have an assistant is to take me to the bathroom. So yeah. Another thing that was really helpful was letting me talk about my frustrations around having a disability. I mean, when I was really little, I would just feel like, oh yeah, I'm not walking yet, but I'll figure that out and stuff. But there came kind of a point in time where it's like, I started realizing this might not be a going to figure it out soon type of thing. It might be a forever deal not walking, and that was really frustrating and upsetting for me to think about and wrap my head around at first. So, just giving me the space to feel upset about it or frustrated about it, even angry, and to talk through it with me was really instrumental in me getting kind of, I mean, over it. I want to say I don't feel upset about not being able to walk, but it's in my mind I'm always yeah, that would be cool, but I'm perfectly happy the way that I am now, and I think a large part of that is the way that my mom just let me express how it felt to be learning about the fact that I might not ever acquire some skills that a lot of people have. Yeah. She was a really strong support through all of that. Yeah. Kind of coinciding with what I just said, the last thing I'm going to talk about is how my mother always stressed the point when I was upset that everyone's life is different. And, pretty much everyone has something they have to deal with. Some people you can just see it a little bit more than others. And that was helpful to me because I knew okay, my life is different in this way, but everyone's life is a little bit different. No two lives are exactly the same. And that was really helpful for me in feeling like I had a place in the world and that everything was going to be okay and everything was going to turn out well. So, yeah. Again, before I wrap this up, I just want to say I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I'm not even a parent of a disabled child. I'm just a disabled person who had a really good support system growing up and figuring out my condition and doing that. I mean, me and my mom pretty much, we did this together. I mean, I was her first child and I was a disabled child, so she's like, I don't know that much about kids. I know not anything about CP, so we were just learning about it together, and it was really amazing the way my mom was able to support me so well, seeing that, she didn't know that much about kids or disabilities. So maybe if you have a disabled child, a tip in here will help you help them come to terms with it and stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and until next time, remember, we're all different, so just roll with it.